Well, like already packed, even though it's 2 weeks out. I already packed my suitcase,
For
and
what?
like
Where are you
I'm
going?
bringing Ireland.
Oh, well. Oh, right. I didn't know anything about that. I wish I would have known. I guess I won't plan. I had an Alex focused show in 2 weeks, but I'll just
Oh,
scrap that.
okay.
Does
All right, sorry
HR
about
know you're taking some time off?
that. I mean, yeah, I guess who's HR in this whole thing, in this
I
like
thought it was-
triangle of.
Oh, man.
It's
Sorry,
Alex.
it's me,
Idiot.
So I'm just gonna let myself know that I am going to Ireland. But yeah, like I packed my suitcase and like I put all my clothes in. And obviously not all.
Okay.
There's like 90% there because I have 10 million T-shirts and everything. And then I pack stuff that I'm bringing with me for my friend, who I'm going to be staying with. And I completely forgot if I needed anything else. But it's so much space in this freaking thing. And she's like, well, when you're in Ireland, you're going to want to bring home a lot of potatoes. I don't believe that's true.
Can she say that? I feel like it's too soon. I think we're not far enough out of the potato famine for that to be okay. And
technically, she's Polish living in Ireland, so I don't even think it's okay for her to make that joke.
No, I don't think so either. And I think our fans are going to cancel your friend.
Yeah,
it's not okay.
But I am bringing bagels, so that's another thing. Anyways, that's it. That's all I got.
Well, that's great. We're very, very excited. Alex has a lot of Alex is traveling. My big news that I've been doing lately is I don't know how, but I accidentally joined a sourdough bread Facebook group like 6 months ago, and I've never left it because it's real nice to look at bread sometimes. You know what I mean? Especially when it's made right. And then they do the time lapse of the bread where it just like, I was like, oh, amazing. And also, it's so catty. It's all people who are 30 years my senior. So they're all in like the late 60s, mid 70s. And they're all just talking about how like their sourdough starter kits or whatever are inferior because they YouTubed them or they weren't from like a family recipe. It's my favorite thing in the world. And it is just something that I've found myself spending more and more time on, which lets me know I need to go outside. But with that, hello everyone and welcome in. My name is Paul. That's Alex, Potato Man Aronowitz. How you feeling?
Potato Man Aronowitz. Okay, I don't know if I like that. I'll take Bagel Man. I won't take Potato Man.
Bagelman.
Bagelman.
Alex,
yes.
Alex Bagelman Aronowitz. Daniel's our corporate fun officer. Look how fun he is. Daniel, be fun. All right.
I like how you didn't ask him if he had any big news. Like wow, no one cares.
Well, he just saw me the other day. That was his big news, wasn't it?
That's true.
We
got wings and beer.
We had wings and beer, and we had the biggest Long Island iced tea I have ever seen in my life.
I think it was a full stein.
Was it from the Long Island region of Long Island?
No. It was from Pasadena, California.
Actually, I do have a weird thing because Paul, as you know, like I had friends come from out of town. Daniel, you heard this. I went to Beetle House, which is
you did? That was so cool. I love the pictures.
Yeah, and Dan Pink was there.
Yeah, I saw your Instagram post. Like you were sitting just across from her.
First, I was like right across from her, and I wasn't even thinking. I was like, this person. I'm focused on my thing and my friends and my steak that came with a straight razor because it was like Sweeney Todd. But then, like, she sits next to me. I'm like, and she looks over. What?
Cutting my steak with a straight razor? What a pain in the ass.
No, it just came with it like a souvenir.
Oh, I'd be so mad. I'm cutting. Oh, my goodness. I would be so mad. I just got so upset.
The steak is very
I need to go
hairy.
outside. Like I said,
the steak comes with the hairy skin. You have to shave it in order to eat it. She was like
disgusting.
Yeah, she was sitting right next to me at one point. I was like, "Oh, that's Pink. How very interesting."
I would fully expect her to kind of be in the show, and she just like launches up on a trapeze out of mid dinner.
That's exactly what happened.
Oh,
or she was with her family and just enjoying a meal. I was like,
that too. They are just people.
So what? She's still a rock star. Well, everyone, hello. Welcome in to our pop culture news and headlines. We actually have a very brief pop culture news and headline segment today because we're doing an AMA and ask me and all of us anything, not anything. I appreciate all the comments and I appreciate some of the weirder questions I got in my DMs. We've got about 10 of them. We'll only answer a few of them because they will be spread out. Autumn may be joining later. She's stuck in traffic and she's busy. But if not, then I don't know. We can print out her response. We'll have her like respond to them like a SAT test or something. I don't know. But
Scantron only.
As per usual, like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell, hang out with us, and first and foremost, thank you guys all for being so patient. I know we kind of went, we see you guys every week, and then we were putting out content almost, I think, every day for a while. And then we all had so much happening in the span of 2 weeks. Alex had guests, and he's renovating a ton of places in his home. Daniel's got a new job. I am currently looking for work because my contract ended with Blizzard, and I've been in interviews with different companies, and it's just been nuts. And Autumn is starting a new job very soon. So, yeah, thank you guys all for being so patient and hanging out with us while we are getting this all done. We have so much content logged. There was a time where I told Alex, I was like, Alex, watch these 5 movies. We're going to do movie reviews. Yeah. And we've probably got like 9 movies banked. So we've got a lot of movie reviews coming up and, and some more stuff happening. So with that, let's get into some of the pop culture news and headlines. We've got the first one right off the bat here is a big one. 2015's Fallout 4 is now the #1 selling game thanks to the Amazon show. So, have you guys seen the show yet?
Yeah, I got it done in 2 days. I was so excited.
I knocked it out in 2 days as well. Daniel, how far are you in now?
At the end of episode 1. I just started it last night. But okay. But I'm going in blind because I never played the Fallout games. I would start them, couldn't get very far into them. I could never quite sink my teeth into them.
That's very
have you played? I forget. Did you like Skyrim, other Bethesda games?
I did. I put so many unspeakable hours into Skyrim, but
I wonder how many hours I put into Skyrim, to be honest.
I'm probably like 500 plus hours into Skyrim. Daniel's definitely more than that. Alex, it's probably more. Let us know how many hours did you guys put into Skyrim and Fallout. But I agree, Fallout I didn't play very much. I probably put like 80 hours into it, not very much. Maybe 80 hours is just past the character selection screen. Maybe.
The funny part about Skyrim is I played it extensively on the PlayStation and on my PC, so I'd have to pull up 3 different things in order to determine how many hours I put into it. But if you want to look here, hold on. I've got 307.9 hours into Fallout 4. So that's not
wow. Well, Alex, did you know that according to SteamDB, which tracks player counts, price history, and more for Steam games, Bethesda Game Studios' Fallout 4 is currently being played by 53,000 concurrent players, which is not even near, what it was at its peak, which was about 472,000. But before the show, it was peaking at about 18,000. So, that's a huge increase from 18,000 just a while ago to now 53,000. And that's just in a few weeks.
And that's just on Steam. Because, and I also looked it up. Yeah, and I looked it up, that statistic for Autumn, who's like, what about the derpy version that you play on your iPad, the Fallout game? Yeah, the Fallout Shelter was up 500% or something like that of usage, which just shot up. And apparently they're making so much money because all these people who never played it before are like, "Ooh, I'm gonna buy upgrades."
Same.
Oh, no. Microtransactions.
I didn't buy anything, but I definitely downloaded the Fallout phone game, Shelter. And I was just like. Okay. I remember my nephew Andrew playing it forever. But I haven't touched it again. I get bored with phone games, but
it's a battery killer also.
Yeah, it's absolutely a battery killer. Well, This is, nothing new. The same type of thing happened where you see this increase in sales to a game. We saw it most recently with the Witcher series, the Witcher 3 Wild Hunt sales, and concurrent players doubled. I jumped on that trend. I actually had never, ever played The Witcher before the show. And I started playing it and I loved it. And I was like, oh my God, this game's amazing.
And then you went on your first 72 side quests and realized you haven't gotten anywhere in the game.
Yeah, I'm just looking for whatever those little damn pumpkins are forever. And I'm just like, oh God, I need to go call my family. But it happened with Mario as well. There was an increase in sales when the Mario game came out. But, it is not a clear indication all the time of a good show or a show equals, more sales for the game, because it didn't happen with Halo. Which
is funny.
Yeah, because it was more exposure. But I also think people weren't necessarily very fond of the show. I don't know if you guys have seen it.
I saw it. It's fine. It's a show. But,
yeah. It was more. I mean, it was more violent than I thought it was going to be.
Oh, it was wicked violent. Yeah.
I think it's more violent than the video game.
Well, I mean, no, it can't be more violent. Well, I mean, it's more graphic than the video game.
Graphic.
It's violent.
Yeah.
Okay. We're talking about people with 70 million kills or whatever. These 40 people died at this show. It's terrible.
Yeah, but he crushes that one dude's head. And the first, I was like, that doesn't happen in the game, at all.
Sadly.
I don't know. I think, again, until I think Halo's a little too big. It's like Gears of War. It's a little too big to be done right at the moment. But
the best thing about Fallout is that it's not an adaptation.
Right.
It is an in-universe, canonical, standalone story.
Yep.
So that's wild. So that was the coolest part, because I don't want to spoil it, but it answers questions, and this is officially answering questions that fans have had for a long time, because Todd Howard is behind it. So he's like, yes, this is correct. And so if you get through the show, and I don't want to spoil for anyone who hasn't, it answers questions that people have had for years. And it was what for a lot of people who watch it. So it's a great, except I did, however, I love those people on the internet who are the worst. People on the internet who are the worst are always my favorite, because this person was like, I stopped watching the show within the first 20 minutes because it showed that it was 9:47 a.m. in New York, and then it's 6 a.m. Then they're in California, and there was a child's birthday party at 6 a.m. I can't watch this. I shut it off. I was like, all right.
You know what we do with those people?
Nothing happened yet.
We kick them out of the vault. They are already near ghoul. They are already ghouls. They're halfway there. They are most likely, if they were in a yearbook, they would be most likely to become a ghoul after a nuclear fallout. Yeah. But I mean, Alex, those are both of our favorite people, though.
I just sit there and I'm just like,
we love those people, and we know quite a bit. And thank you guys for watching the show. We appreciate it. But so with this, Daniel, finished watching the show. We've had a couple people here saying, Liza said, I will be playing when I get home. Meaning she'll be playing the game.
Harassing her.
Steve Nara says, FYI, most of the Fallout games are free for Prime owners via Prime Gaming, which is their cloud-based system. It's pretty cool. My Jin says, my husband played so much Skyrim, I started calling it Mistress Skyrim. Also, that would be my drag name. That's my drag name.
Mistress Skyrim.
Mistress Skyrim. Absolutely.
Let's workshop that a bit. We'll
all right.
find something.
On stage, yelling Dovahkiin language, knocking. You're not going to make any more money.
No,
breaking everyone's legs in the front row.
And Owen says, I'm hoping to start watching the Fallout show soonly. I'm pretty far behind on streaming shows. I only recently finished Picard, and I'm moving on to Strange New Worlds next, which are two shows no one's ever heard of. So,
yeah, Strange New Worlds, good journey for you, my friend. And Discovery's in its final season. So,
these are all Star Trek things, right?
Yeah, they're all Star Trek things.
Okay. Oh, okay. I wasn't sure what Strange New Worlds was.
I thought it was that that Disney movie with John Krasinski that no one watched.
Oh yeah,
no, get out of here, man.
The first one I was doing a bit, but I honestly thought he meant that one.
Seek out new life and new civilizations to boldly go where no one has gone before. Come on.
Okay.
Strange New Worlds in there.
I will. Jeez. So Dwayne says, never played Skyrim or Fallout. Might try Fallout. I will watch the Fallout show. I love Dwayne. Right. Dwayne is the most matter-of-fact man I've ever met in my life. Never a dull moment. So yeah, I mean, it's very, very interesting show, very well acted. It definitely has the feel. I've played enough Fallout, to understand like the feel and the cadence and the ambiance that you really, really get from living within the Fallout verse that Bethesda created. And I think Amazon did a great job with the show, and it shows because I mean, it's gotten really, really good reviews. Other than it being only 10 episodes, or 8 episodes, I have
8 episodes, man.
No notes. All right. Well, let's move on real quick to our last little bit of news, which is actually fandom focused and kind of cool.
To be honest.
Yeah, it is. It is pretty wild. So, Transformers and G.I. Joe crossover movie is officially happening. Following a tease during the ending of Transformers Rise of the Beasts, Paramount has officially confirmed at CinemaCon 2024 that a Transformers and G.I. Joe crossover movie will be released in 2025 or 2026. So we're going to have to wait a little bit, but it is happening.
That's insane, by the way.
That is pretty nuts.
It's pretty crazy. I mean, listen, I'm not going to say I'm a huge fan of Transformers and G.I. Joe movies, but it's like Ricky Bobby said about when they put the guy's a pig kidney in a guy and no, he died, but it's cited that we're trying things like this movie could be terrible, but I am excited that they're trying.
In the age of just franchise sequel after sequel after sequel, maybe it's time for something campy and fun and
yeah. Movies like that to me get a pass because they know exactly what they're doing. I cannot for the life of me get this goddamn hat on straight. It's driving me crazy. And I know my girlfriend is watching and she's wants to fix my hat. Anyways,
if I
movies like this get a pass
better?
Because that actually does. Because they're ridiculous. They're meant to be ridiculous movies. Transformers, G.I. Joe, Star Wars, Ghostbusters, they're all kids movies, essentially.
How dare you?
And they're really, really just kind of steering into the skid. Now, have you two seen the teaser that prompted this whole thing here?
I have not. Do you have it queued up, or did you just set us up for?
I do.
Okay, good. Let's queue it up.
Okay,
I want to hear it because I did see the new Transformers 1 trailer, which is different.
Very different. Yeah, I hadn't seen it, and I know it is a different thing, so I didn't want to bring it up. But feel free to
ruin.
Oh, okay, good.
And I think that they're. Oh, here we go.
There we go.
Your brother's gonna be just fine. Oh, Chris was right, by the way.
I want this so bad for my apartment.
No names over the airwaves. We could really use someone like you, Noah. Why don't you think about it?
Oh, man.
Music kicks ass, though.
It's very intense.
Oh, snap. There it is.
Wow.
There it is. Yeah.
That's a good teaser.
It is, right? I mean,
it's fascinating because there's no indication of them having a shared universe, but I guess they're going to do it anyways. But,
I'll be honest. Yeah. I want a Fast and the Furious Transformers crossover more than I want G.I. Joe, but I think this is as close as we're going to get.
This is what you're going to get. This is as close as you're going to get because I feel like half the cast from Fast
it's like I feel like they don't switch out the sets because they're like no one will notice at all.
No one
like,
will.
It's just a generic warehouse full of stuff.
No Duke though. No Duke.
Yeah.
Which is heartbreaking. But are they recasting it or are they going with the original? I guess we don't know anything. This is all we know is this teaser. But these are things that I'm thinking about. Are they recasting G.I. Joe or are they, of course, bringing The Rock back with his goatee?
God, I hope.
Goatee back out.
Oh, is he in G.I. Joe?
He was in one. I didn't watch either of them.
He's in all of
everything.
Movies. Is he in the Expendables? Does anyone know that off the top of their head? I feel like that's a Rock movie.
He's literally in everything. He was in Everything Everywhere All at Once. You just didn't notice because he was one of the rocks in the background. He's in every movie. He's in every single.
I feel like that joke's a good place to move on. So Alexa says, honestly, they can't ruin the Transformer franchise more than it already is. Rise of the Beasts, actually, I liked quite a bit. It's like the one that I liked other than the second movie. The one where he goes to college and the girl has the tail that comes out. She's like the evil Decepticon.
I think that's two. No,
I think that's two.
After one, the roll of blur to me.
Honestly, yeah. I don't think I've seen, what is it? The one where he has a sword.
That's like the Revenge of the Fallen Robot Knight.
I'm so behind. Yeah, I haven't seen Bumblebee. I haven't seen the Beast one.
The Beast one was the post credit trailer we just watched. So you're good.
Okay.
Yeah. But that one's actually not bad. It's got really, really good music and it's like based in like the 90s and stuff. So it's better. It's better than all of the other ones.
Beast Wars one with Optimus Primal. Isn't that his name?
Yeah.
Optimus Primal.
I liked it. I had fun with it.
I mean, I don't know. You know me. I don't like anything.
OPP. Owen says, I have a feeling it'll be a reboot. Remember, the Energon universe is officially a thing under the Skybound imprint now, so they are canon in the same universe again. Yeah.
I don't know what any of those words mean, but I'm sure.
Bumblebee was good. I actually did watch that. That one's pretty fun as well.
Yeah, that one was all right. I didn't see Transformers like 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, but I saw Bumblebee, but I haven't seen 8. Yeah. There's 8 of them, right?
I don't know, dude.
Is there 8?
It almost feels like a pop culture network should do a box office breakdown.
No, absolutely not. I'm not watching 18 Transformers movies.
And then brain cells is. Yeah, no kidding. That cat's got more brain cells behind you than you do. And then you know exactly how we're ending the episode, right? To anyone out there, we're listening. Doom, 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 doom. The Linkin Park song.
Oh my god!
And then credits.
Yeah, and we could just transform in under our desks. Anyways,
okay, no. Yeah, maybe we'll. The people have spoken.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, that is. Oh, Daniel, did you bring up any of the images that we uploaded?
That was all of them. Oh, hang on. I did skip the Fallout one.
Which did you bring up the stream? Did you bring up the Steam one? Oh, I was on another screen, so I'm sorry.
Steam one.
Why are we bringing this up after we're done talking?
Yeah,
because Daniel didn't do his job.
There was no segue.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Well, speaking of segues, all right, everyone. So, like I said, we only had a couple of things we want to talk about for pop culture news and headlines. All right, now we're going to get into the AMA, the Ask Us AUA. The Ask Us Anything Q&A. You guys sent in a few questions. Some of you guys posted in the chat, and then a lot of you also just DM'd me. We'll get to as many of these as we can. Again, sorry Autumn's not here. She's like I said, she got a new job, and so things are kind of crazy right now. But we will answer as many of them as we can. We're all going to answer, and we've got about 10 of them, about 10 questions that I handpicked from you guys. But feel free to ask any questions in the chats as well. And then if Daniel approves and it is appropriate, then we will answer. And if it's not appropriate, Alex will.
I'll answer.
All right. Well, you guys ready to get vulnerable?
Let's do it.
Yeah.
All right. Well, the very first question, which I think is a good place to start with Fandom Social as a whole in our AMA. I'm going to do Q&A. We'll go with Q&A. Is how did we all meet? So,
great question.
I can take the lead here and start in the Daniel, Alex, start powering up the way back machine, TARDIS, and
spin. I can't. Oh, I just crashed into my desk when I tried to spin. Great.
So we had me and Autumn met years ago working at a comic book store, and then we worked together for about 2 years. We worked on tons of stuff together when we were there at the comic book store, and then I didn't talk to Autumn for about 4 years. And again, a lot of you guys may know the story. Maybe some of you guys don't. But me and Autumn met. I worked at a comic book store that she was managing at the time, and with another partner of hers, and so that was like, God, when was that? Like 2012, maybe like 2012, maybe a little bit later, maybe 2013, and then I worked there till about I worked from 2012 to like 2014. So we worked together for like 2 years, and then I worked somewhere else, and then randomly years after that, like 2 or 3 years after that, I got a message from her on Facebook saying, "Hey, I'm working at this pop culture place. Do you want to come in and maybe do," because I was doing theater at the time, I was doing acting, and she said, "Do you want to come in and try to host some stuff?" So I went in, and I actually had to, it was like a dry run through. Like I had no script, I had no prep. And so I was just like, my specialty. So what you guys see is always what you get here. So essentially we go in and I think I'm doing the Mystique premium format, the blue one with the head exchange thing. And so get the job, and then I start working in the call center. And then that's where and then eventually I moved to marketing, and then we moved to marketing, and then Autumn, it becomes my job to take over the group chat, not the group chat, my goodness, the Facebook group, the Let Your Geek Side Show Facebook group, and said, "Hey, we have this really excellent moderator, and we have some openings on our social team. So in walks Alex Runowitz." I don't actually know how you got your start with with getting to know me and Autumn.
It was pretty amazing, actually, if you want to know. And actually, they never deleted any of the old chats out of Slack. Daniel, you know Slack. I was trying to remember something that had to do with me, so I typed my name in, and I was like, "Oh, look at all these comments about Alex Aronowitz, the group member," and then I became a moderator and they did whatever. But yes, I was floating some theories, and I was getting made fun of for floating a lot of weird theories. But yes, that's how I got on. I just basically was very active in the group, in the Facebook group. Then I was very active as a moderator, and then I was very active as a person that annoys people into giving him a job. And that's how I met Paul. I met Daniel here.
Yeah.
On this same screen.
2 months ago?
The same exact monitor.
Yeah, literally this exact fashion. And then Daniel, for those of you who don't know, Daniel's my cousin. And Daniel, I mean, do you want to talk about me basically begging you to please come and join us on Fandom Social?
Oh, yeah. Paul was saying that. Oh, I'm sorry. I was looking for a photo. I know I've got a baby photo of us in here somewhere. But yeah, I met Paul when I was the ripe age of what? A week old?
3. Well, I was 3 months older.
Yeah, Paul's 3 months older than I. But yeah, this is nepotism, pure and simple. He let me know that there was a space for another voice on this little show he was doing, and I took him up on it.
Yeah. And for people who don't know, Daniel actually used to work at Sideshow as well.
I did.
You worked much more. You did much more important work. You were behind the scenes.
I was the guy that would push pre-orders back. So if you got an email saying like, "Hey, your item's been delayed," that was me.
It was
so sorry. Yeah.
Yeah. And so So essentially, that's kind of how we all know each other. And obviously, Autumn had probably met Daniel once or twice in between that, and but then she really started to get to know him on Fandom Social. So, you.
I'm trying so hard not to get distracted by your cat, by the way, but it's hard because I love her. Or him. I don't know which one.
She's chilling. Look at her.
Daniel has no idea which cat that is. I want to start there.
I have to. No, you know what? It depends on like how you look at him, because she's got marks behind her ears, and he's got what is she? She's also got like more white around the snout than he does. So it's a visual thing.
Cats have a snout? I thought that's only for like pigs and anteaters.
A muzzle, perhaps.
Dogs have snouts.
Her nose, her schnoz.
No, they have snoots.
I was going to say, boop the snoot is you boop cat snoots too. So,
all right, get back to it, please.
Science.
All right, well, so like nepotism makes the world go round. All right, well, next question. This is a funny one. Do you guys all actually talk to each other outside of the show? And if so, what about? Who wants to take this one?
I could take this one right now. We are children of technology, and we move along with the future. We're not curmudgeons who resist it. So we do communicate, but purely through memes. Like 80% of the day, I feel like that's what we do, is just send each other Instagram memes and reels, and always pop culture or really unhinged related.
We have two simultaneous group chats. We have like a text chat and then an IG chat, and like we can be communicating on both, and it's just the same group of people with like multiple topics of conversation going on.
Yeah.
And I have to come in, and we're like having fun in the Instagram group chat, and it's memes. And then I come into the text one, I'm like, hey everyone, I need to know exactly what we're doing. Who's going to be at the show? This is what time we're doing everything.
Yeah. Every Monday morning, Paul goes into work mode.
Yeah.
Boo this man.
So he comes into work mode, and he's like serious asking all these questions. And then like 30 seconds later, he's just sending a meme about like an old man's balls. And then I'm like, it's like I can't shift my brain as quickly as Paul can.
Alex, look at this old man's balls. Looks like Tatooine. It's like the twin sons.
It's a video.
But yeah, we talk to each other literally all the time, and then me and Alex specifically talk about movies all the time. So we do. All right, well, moving on to the next one.
Just me.
You freeze? Who froze?
Right, freeze. Who's freezing?
A little bit.
Who's freezing?
I have no idea. Anyways,
all right.
Daniel's freezing.
Okay.
He didn't touch his nose.
Can you guys hear me? We're good?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So next question, another fun one that I actually don't know the answer to this one. So I wanted to give you guys some space to discuss this. It says, since Paul talks about cryptids and all that stuff so much, what does everyone actually think about ghosts, aliens, and the paranormal? What are your actual beliefs on that?
This is
Alex, you wanna kick us off here? So what are your actual thoughts on like cryptids, the paranormal, and aliens and stuff? Where do you stand?
I like watching movies about them. That's as far as I am a skeptical, non-spiritual atheist to the core. Like, people are like, my friend was on the thing. I was like, oh man, I've got this headache. She's like, Mercury's in retrograde. I'm on the phone with her, and she's like, oh, Mercury's in retrograde. And I literally was like, shut up. It's like, shut up. It's allergies.
It's allergies. You're like, it's not Mercury, it's your Zyrtec. That's what's doing it, honestly.
Yeah, exactly. So that's
Facebook user says, I believe in aliens and ghosts. We believe you. We just don't know who you are. So go to streamyard.com/Facebook and hit I agree so we can see who you are, or let us know who the hell you are.
I do think I need to clarify that I don't believe in aliens. I understand that it's very probable that life exists outside of Earth. It's illogical to think otherwise. So that's not for me. That's not a belief thing. I don't believe it. Do I believe aliens come here with nothing better to do than go pesky humans like in Resident Alien? I wish that
fighting with 12-year-olds.
I'm
so
fully
good.
on board.
I love that show.
If aliens came here, I'd be like, yo, you gotta pick on 12-year-olds, and then I will respect it. So, anyways, that I just wanted to put that one clarification in. So there you
go. What about you, Daniel? Where do you fall on like the paranormal?
I'm kind of in the same boat with aliens. It's one of those things where it's like there's way too much out there for there not to be something. Ghosts for sure, not in a spiritual sense, but in like a what was that? Like specifically here at this apartment, we've had some like bumps in the night. We've heard some cabinets opening and closing, and definitely some spooky shit going on. But
definitely not your 2 cats.
No, it's just pre-cats. This is before we had any pets. It was just like the sound of
Oh, so they were rats, probably.
You know what? Wouldn't put it past it. We've had some incidents here. But yeah, no, I fully believe it. I get the feeling. Yeah.
Yeah.
I get the feeling there's something there.
Jen Edwards says, one of my cousins was an ER nurse, and she swears more people come in during full moons.
I can see that.
I guess,
gravity's a little.
I wonder, you know what I want to know? I wonder how many people went to the ER during the eclipse.
Did you see there was a Google, someone took the Google stat of like the amount of times something was Googled, and it was like the phrase like, why are my eyes hurting? And it spiked on eclipse day, like 800% or something.
And you know what's funny? It's like, I did not stare. I went to Brooklyn Botanical Gardens. They had a whole event. They gave everyone the glasses. And it's like, I didn't stare up at the eclipse with my naked eye. Like if I looked up, I had the goggles on.
I absolutely did.
Okay. No. Well, that's probably why it hurt. But I was sitting there. I would have the glass on, and then I would look up at the sky, and then I would look down and I'd take the glass off because I'm not looking directly at it. But my eyes started killing me later on. Like they were killing me.
Really?
And I wasn't even staring at it. Just from like going back and forth. Like, I don't know. My eyes were killing me later.
I looked at it. I was so while I'm in this job hunt, I'm working at a restaurant, and it was a slow day. It was like a Wednesday or something. So we all went outside, all the workers, and we were looking up at it. And I looked at it like with the naked eye when it was fully covered, but not before because it was like way too bright. So when it was like fully dark. Sorry, that was the moon covering. That's what I was doing, Alex. Don't be weird. And my eyes didn't hurt at all. Like I was fine. But if anyone's eyes are hurting out there, it's probably because your screen time is like 10 hours. So put your phone down.
That's also very true.
So let's see. So we had Alex says, I believe in other life forms that likely don't look like the movies. They're probably like little blobs. Yeah, or they're microbial. Most likely they're microbial. Because
I don't believe in them. I feel that logically they're out there. Like it makes sense.
Yeah. So. What is it? Carl Sagan that said like
billions and billions of planets. Yeah,
and it's like there's two possibilities. Either we're alone in the universe or not alone in the universe, and equally are both terrifying. Dwayne says, I want to believe in life out there. No belief in the supernatural. I'm the same way. I love this stuff. I mean, you guys have been watching me on screen for Jesus Christ, like 5 years now. maybe not that long, maybe a little bit less, but like, I love it. I love the idea of cryptids. I love the idea of ghosts and everything, but I like the human that drives some of these. I think it's more interesting because absolutely. There's usually something behind it. And aliens is different because it is, like, We're talking about like the resident alien version of an alien of a life form, a green.
That's the only one I'm interested in.
Yeah. Same. Or I like the ones that you can kill with a water gun from Signs.
Yeah.
Because then you can just pick them off.
Yeah.
Or just have a bunch of like 8th graders who are hopped up on Mountain Dew with their like Nerf water guns, just taking out a bunch of aliens. That'd be great.
Talk about like a movie that ruined itself in the last act. You know what I mean? Oh God.
I watched that movie in theaters and it terrified me. It still terrifies me today.
Until the water part. You're like, all you have to do is wait like a couple of days, and then when it rains, it'll be just puddles of aliens everywhere.
Wasn't that the solution in War of the Worlds too? When like the atmosphere killed them?
That was the common.
They just waited out.
That was disease.
It was like disease and pollen or something. It was like our air. It was our air, is what it was.
Yeah.
When they opened up their like filtration system, and then they breathed in our air all of like the bacteria and pollen,
all the smog.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They're just like all these aliens are a bunch of asthmatic D&D players who can't go outside.
And like they have the technology to get themselves across the universe, but they can't be like, oh, what is this planet made out of? Oh, 70% water. Oh, let's go there and eat all the people. Oh, wait, the people, they're also made out of 70% water. What are we gonna do?
you and John Gargano have the same trait. He's like, did they forget? I imagine him yelling this also at his screen.
Yeah.
But
that was me yelling at the screen as well. I was like, why did you come here?
I don't play D&D, so I'm cool.
As he's sitting here like,
but yeah, I mean it is it's interesting. And as far as Autumn goes, we'll say none. She doesn't care about it. I don't know. She's not here, so she can't defend herself.
Yeah, we'll answer for her.
Yeah, we'll answer for her. All right. Well, this next one's another good one. Thank you, guys. So, are there any fandoms you used to love and no longer engage in at all, and then vice versa? So, are there fandoms that you used to that you didn't engage in, and now you are big fans of? I can. Well, you guys think, because again, I had these questions beforehand. The guys didn't have these. So for me, I used to be very, very, very into Doctor Who, and then I fell off like right around Peter Capaldi. But I used to be like super into Doctor Who. I think I've been to Gallifrey 1 maybe twice. I used to dress up with the boat. I have a picture of me.
What is Gallifrey 1?
It's like their convention. There's Gallifrey 1. Yeah, Doctor Who convention.
And I love Doctor Who. I just don't know what Gallifrey 1 is.
Yeah, it's a little convention. And I don't, it doesn't excite me anymore. Honestly, Matt Smith is my favorite. And like once I stopped like watching Matt Smith, I watched a little bit of it, but I used to watch it like all the time. And I used to be like in the subreddits on Tumblr. I was all over it. And
Tumblr. God.
I went to a premiere. I went to like the Doctor Who, like they did like a world tour, like premiere of the Capaldi season. Of the first Capaldi episode, they did a world tour, and I went to the one in New York. It was a nice time. They were all there.
Nice.
Yeah.
And then as far as one that I never used to be into, but like I guess I'm into now, honestly, it would probably have to be Star Wars. Even though we joke all the time, where like I don't watch Star Wars, I don't care about what Disney's doing with it. Daniel's always been a Star Wars fan, but I didn't start watching Star Wars or care about Star Wars until I was in like my very early 20s. And so, once I started working at Sideshow and everyone is watching Star Wars, not only watch Star Wars, but like it is a way of life there, is a pillar of life. I got really into it, and I got really into like the Mandalorian side of that. And I still like parts of it, but I just don't watch any of the shows anymore. But it'd probably have to be Star Wars. It's the only thing that I can think of at the moment, because I'm like, I don't really engage in a ton of fandoms now like that. But what about you guys?
I'll let Daniel go. I'm still thinking.
Let's see. One that I used to, this is gonna be stupid, but I've never really had one that like I've disengaged with. Doctor Who, I guess, counts because same thing. I kind of fell off around the Capaldi years. But this is more anecdotal. When I was a kid, and Paul can attest to this, I used to be in love with the Little Rascals. There was like a early 90s, I want to say, remake of like the older version. And I literally burned out the VHS tape. Like, stopped working, it ripped. I just watched it over and over. And then I genuinely haven't seen it since I was 10 or something like that.
That's fun.
But at one that I like, my buddy was trying to get me on Critical Role like on the early days, but I couldn't engage. Like it wasn't clicking. And then it wasn't until like the pandemic. Actually, it was when I started working at Sideshow because my commute was like 2 hours each way. I needed long form audio, and I was like, let me just throw this on. It's finally been enough years that my buddy's been bugging me, and I fell in love. And I don't even play D&D.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember you getting really into it as well. And like,
I know, and now I follow all the Twitter pages. I follow like fandom pages, and people just like memeing, or they'll post like fan art and stuff like that. That's like the one community I'm like actually actively engaged with now.
That's cool. That's a journey, because that's a lot of stuff to take in.
What about you?
Me? I can't think of any like big fandom that I wasn't into and that I jumped into. That's really difficult for me.
I would, you know what I was thinking about? Like, and this one's like, you know, if I don't want to say Star Wars, like my other answer would be like actual film, you know, like channels. So like film subreddit, film Instagram, film Twitter. Like now that is like my entire feed is movies, specifically like Neon and A24 if you really want to get specific, and then like Alex Garland and, you know, sci-fi dystopian stuff. So you know, stuff like that. It could be anything, but you legally have to answer the question, Alex.
Well, legally I can answer the question as far as things that I was hardcore into and I don't really engage in the fandom that much is Marvel and DC Comics and Star Wars. Like I used to have a poll list that was like huge.
That's a good one. Yeah.
I used to have like 15 X-Men titles a freaking month, you know, like just to read through. I used to read so many comics, and I remember like the last Marvel or DC comic I read. Actually, no, DC I'll still pick up here randomly in there. The last Marvel comic I actually picked up and read was I think the last issue of Avengers Undercover, I think it was called, where like all those teens from Avengers Academy that like got kidnapped and tortured by whatever. And it was a long story. Avengers Undercover. That was the last. Right. So it's been
wow.
It's been like 10 years or more since I've read a Marvel comic. DC I'll pick up every once in a while, like I said, but otherwise I just do indie. And Star Wars, same thing. Like there's sometimes where like the nostalgia, I'm like, oh, Star Wars this, Star Wars that, and I get back in, I'll start diving in. I'm like, yeah, no, I don't feel it. I don't even feel the connection to the original trilogy anymore. Like I barely feel it. You give me Rogue One and Andor, I'm dead in. I'm so in. It's unbelievable. But everything else, I'm like, I'm done. But I can't think of anything I've gotten into. Magnets. I'm into magnets. I buy so many magnets.
So lame.
Yeah, here we go.
You sound like Charlie Kelly. He's like, hey, he's creating his dating profile and is always sunny in Philadelphia. Like, tell us some stuff about you. He's like, what do you like? Magnets, ghouls, little ghouls you have around. You remember we went around and we caught a couple ghouls. We caught no ghouls. Yeah. We caught no ghouls. Milk steak.
I'm really obsessed with things that attach things to other things, like magnets and screws and nails and Velcro. That's
hooks,
fasteners,
hooks.
Maybe you're a big fan of gravity. Have you heard of that one? That's a good one.
No. I hate gravity. I hate gravity. I'm trying to do anything I can to fight it. Right, Daniel?
Yeah.
That's why the only reason I love Wicked is because she's
defying gravity. He got it. I know. I was waiting for.
I was trying to like string together something, but it wasn't coming to me.
I know. I know. Remember, everyone, this is a live show, and not all the jokes are very good. So,
terrible.
Yeah, I agree. You know, I was thinking about that too. I was having this.
What do you agree with magnets? I agree.
No, not goddamn magnets. I was having a conversation with someone about like something that they're like, oh, didn't you used to be like a comic book fan? I was like, hip clips. I still like comics and I still have a ton of comics. I used to have a comic book show that ran for a year and a half with our very good friend Amy Chase. And I used to have a pull list that was longer than my arm. And I haven't bought a comic that was not one that Amy wrote in a year, 2 years. And we used to have a whole show. We interviewed Scott Snyder and we talked to people at Image Comics Publishing. And I'm just like, it becomes overwhelming at one point. I think that's what it becomes with any fandom, with anything, is it just becomes overwhelming. And as soon as you step out of traffic, it's hard to merge back in. It really is.
Yeah.
It's a great way to put it.
Like I said, I've been picking up a lot of, I still pick up indie stuff. I've been picking up the distillery stuff. Scott Snyder has a distillery book, The White Boat. So like I've been picking up a lot of indie stuff still, like randomly here and there. And every once in a while, like, there'll be like a really good DC cover that I'm like, I just need this cover. Just because it's hard, and I don't know if they can ever. And then, of course, if Amy Chase wrote anything, even if it was Marvel, I'd be like, yeah, I guess I'll buy it because it's Amy.
Yeah.
So that's my entire pull list is Amy Chase books. Distillery and random DC book. But anyways, that's me.
Yeah, I agree. And I was thinking actually, I bought a digital comic the other day, and it was by James Tynion IV, because he has his own imprint, Tiny Onion, and he does a ton of like cryptids, and he calls it true. You have like true crime. He calls it true weird, and so he goes into the true stories behind like alien sightings. He had a whole thing called the Blue Book with Benny and Barney Hill, which is very, very good. And so he worked with Jock and all sorts of folks. But
and all those same Art Germ. I had to get the Art Germ cover of
I still like Jock quite a bit. I pick up Jock artwork when I can.
Yeah, Jock's dope.
Dwayne Madison says, I drove 50 miles one way every week to pick up my pulls for about 15 years and then just stopped. God damn, dude. That's a long way to pick up comics.
I mean, 50 miles for me is like a week worth of driving. So I'm stressed out thinking about that.
But he would still get there before you get to 50 miles.
Oh yeah, he could get there and
because New York is
before I get halfway there. Oh my God.
Jesus. All right. Well, thank you guys again. So let's move on. We've got a few. Ooh, this was a good one that I also don't really know, and I actually asked you guys to prepare for this one. But can you give us 3 guilty pleasures? Now it could be food, it could be music, movies, TV shows, and when you get this question, you always get the same thing. And I can see Alex adjusting his glasses because he's going to try to do his actually voice. And I'll define what I mean by guilty pleasure, and it's something that you shouldn't do every day or have every day, or maybe that people in the zeitgeist would make fun of you for. So with that prompting, what about you, Daniel? Do you want to kick us off here?
I know you told me to prepare for this, and in my usual fashion, I did not.
Yeah.
So off the top of my head, I've got zucchini fries, which kind of weird. But if I'm at a restaurant that has it on the menu, because it's one of those you don't even ever see it, huh?
Lazy Dog has good zucchini fries.
Do they? See, I've never been to Lazy Dog. If I see it on the menu, I'm gonna order it as an appetizer. Me, I love fries and wings, or I don't know, finger foods. Nice cold sweet beer, some kind of sour or something with a fry. My second pick was drunk karaoke songs. Now this is something that even blackout drunk, the words to, Miley Cyrus, Party in the USA, right? One of those, you can just Mr. Brightside. You can scream it. You just words are
100%.
Love those. I don't have a third one. So does anybody want to take from here while I come up with a third?
Ronowitz?
Well, let's see. Guilty pleasures. 7-Eleven Simpsons donuts.
The pink donut.
The sprinkles. Yeah. I think it got so bad at one point that my doctor was worried about me, so I haven't had one in 3 months, and I lost 10 pounds, and apparently I was eating them too much. Of course.
You know what? Was that joke where you're like, my doctor says I need to lose 80 pounds? Well, I dropped that doctor. That's 180 pounds right there. My mom's used that joke before. Hi, Mom.
I'm trying to think of another guilty pleasure. I feel like it's not a guilty pleasure, but it's just watching a movie too much that there's no reason you should watch it so much. But In the Mouth of Madness, the John Carpenter movie, that's basically about a Stephen King / H.P. Lovecraft type of writer who's writing, rewrites reality and stuff. I've watched that movie way too many times. It's not a movie that's just this feel good, great time, shut off your brain movie. It's this demented horror movie. You know what I mean? I don't know. And it's kind of silly, and I love it. And I can't think of a third one either. This was actually, by the way, this is my ultimate guilty pleasure. Naming 3 things that are on my guilty pleasure list. Oof. That's my third guilty pleasure.
Jam. What about you, Paul?
Yeah, my bad. I didn't mean to jam you up, dog. I didn't know that was gonna get you. Okay. Because I prepared, so they're pretty annoying. I actually had a John Carpenter movie, so it's funny that you brought that up. Is Ghost of Mars. I love that movie, and I think it's actually terrible. I watched it again. I don't know if you guys have seen it.
I mean, the one with Ice
It's been a long
Cube?
time.
Yeah. Yes, it's with Ice Cube.
Okay, yeah.
That movie is so bad. It's like up there with like Anaconda, where you're like,
also an Ice Cube
it's
movie.
bad, but I love it. But Ghost of Mars, the John Carpenter movie, I've seen probably like 30 times, and I love it.
Isn't it crazy?
And it's not a fun movie. It's not like, but it's just like just all of the screaming. They're basically Urukai, all of them.
Yeah,
they're sentient or they're Urukai that speak like broken English. And I love that movie. I love the character design. I love all of like the big red filter that's put over the entirety of the movie. Like it's great. It's horrible. It's a movie that I love. So it's funny that you brought that up. This is a big guilty pleasure for sure. I love I think it's like the first, or maybe I always forget which one it is, but I think it's the second Glee album. It's a bunch of covers, and it's the one with the Warblers.
Okay, yeah.
It's the Warblers, and they cover a bunch of. They do like
Teenage Dream by Katy Perry.
Teenage Dream, Blackbird. What's the ding 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 ding. At first we started off cool. Bills. Yes, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. I love that album. It's so bad. I was in between like Glee and Michael Bublé's first album, and I was like, I think Glee is more embarrassing. So I went with but you guys haven't listened to it, and yes, Steve, it is fire. Thank you.
I don't know what any of these words mean. That sentence makes no sense to me.
I almost admire. I actually think you're good. You don't need to know anything, but I'll send it to you. And Alex, you in particular will hate it.
You'd be surprised.
Yeah, you do surprise me. Yeah, you are. I'd say, Daniel's frozen, right? It's not.
Oh, I'm back.
You. There you are.
Yeah.
But yeah, thank you, Steve. I love those like Warbler songs. What is it that Not Unusual is like one of my favorite karaoke songs, and the version that they sing in the Warblers is fantastic. So okay, and then the last one, Daniel, you are Elsa and Anna, my friend.
What's your last one?
I Walk Across the Empty Land. That's Someplace Only We Know by Keane. I was so offensive, Daniel left. But the last one, no surprise, I brought this up before. It's McDonald's. I love McDonald's. I love everything about McDonald's. I love their fries. I love their food. I love the burgers. All of it. If it wouldn't kill me and I wouldn't gain 1,000 pounds, I'd probably eat it every day.
That's you know what? That's me and Taco Bell. So I should have said Taco Bell, but I already did a food thing. So, but Taco Bell's.
What about you, Dan? What's your food guilty pleasure? Like a fast food.
Fast food. Taco Bell's a big one, only because of the Baja Blast, right? Something about it. It's the only place you. Well, it's not the only place you can get it, but it's just for the longest time. It was just like nothing tastes better than like the fountain version of it. So that, and then you just go ham on the dollar menu.
Your uncut Mountain Dew.
Yeah, I don't want it bottled. I want it. I want it like you have what do you call it? A Fiji water. They say it's like untouched by human hands. Like that's what I want. I don't want it in a bottle. I want it like straight from the hot springs, the cold Mountain Dew springs.
Yeah, Willy Wonka's chocolate, untouched by human hands.
Yeah,
I feel like if Willy Wonka's chocolate comes from, like, that's where we get our chocolate, like Mountain Dew comes from someplace next to Kid Rock. Like, I feel like he would be the Willy Wonka of the Mountain Dew factory.
I can see that.
Man, I think I honestly, even though it's not that far off, I think it's more of Insane Clown Posse. Probably.
No, they're Faygo.
That's true. They are Faygo.
Yeah. Woo woo. Slurm.
Slurm.
I do love it. Dwayne says we used to have a McDonald's, but no longer have a single fast. We're learning a lot about where Dwayne. I think Dwayne might be a witness protection. I'm convinced. So
Dwayne lives in the Appalachian Mountains. Like he said, he lives in a cave.
Yeah.
In the Appalachian Mountains. That's the only thing I can think of. Where is there no fast food?
Dwayne has no fast food. He has no stoplights and has to drive 50 miles, but he chooses to watch us. Dwayne, we love you and we appreciate you.
Yeah.
We're really trying to grow our Appalachia market.
Yeah. How did they run that fiber optic cable up into your cave, man?
It's the only they all share a fiber optic cable in that town.
Oh, okay.
That's pretty cool. Yeah. He says Liza says the mini Hostess donuts, total trash, but I love them.
They are good.
Same.
Despite.
Wait, is one step away from being a crypto. A very small town in Indiana.
Okay.
Sure, bud. All right. Well, we got a few more questions left. This is a good one. What has been one of your favorite moments at a convention? At any convention that you've been to? Alex? I guess you're going first.
I'm going first because it just popped straight into my head. My friend Clyde was like, "Hey, get at the end of this line. I know somebody." And he hands me a bobblehead of Nichelle Nichols, Uhura from Star Trek. Just hands me this bobblehead, and he just sticks me on the end of the line that was capped because he knew somebody. And I just waited on this line, and I got to meet Nichelle Nichols. And I've met a bunch of celebrities. I've met a bunch of people at cons. I've met all sorts of, and I've had a lot of crazy experiences. But for me, I'm holding it like I was holding an Oscar. Me meeting Nichelle Nichols and getting to like gush my. There's no way to say it. That doesn't sound weird.
Go ahead. Just power through.
Say all the beautiful things I think about her, all nice, kind, and how much I love her and how much I respect her. It was so nice, and she was very nice to me.
No,
I'm just trying to
what about you, Daniel?
to say it, but it was gross.
What a great memory!
Yeah, Alex is 2 steps away from being kicked off this show right now.
Yeah,
far too nice.
Yeah,
I haven't really gone to too many like comic conventions, but I did a trade show for my old job, and it was cool because like. Yeah, the company I worked for, it carried a lot of weight. It's a really old brand. A lot of people like used our equipment. And so like just wearing the gear, wearing the shirt, it was a show called Cinegear, and it was at the Paramount lot. And so like they have like the sound stages. Like we took up like half a sound stage. And so it just came to the point where I was like, I'm going to go take a little break. So I walked around, and they have like one of those like New York City street sets. Right. And some of those buildings you can't enter and you can go in, and they had a little like speakeasy set up in one of them. And just walking by, the guy was like, "Hey, airy guy." And he like called me over, and sure enough, they just like let me in. And it was so cool. It was just like another little like bar setup. There was a couple of like stools inside, but it was neat. And then inside there was like 3 or 4 other coworkers there that were like, "Oh shit, how'd you find us?" Or like, "Who's looking for us?" or something. But I was like, no, they waved me in. Like they just let me in. That was like the moment I was like, oh yeah, this is fucking cool. Like
I made it.
I made it.
I made it.
No.
I still have to pay for my Corona.
No.
Paul.
It's like a library book. Like they'll get you.
Yeah.
They'll get you. I have 2. One is a very like quiet moment, and one is one that I think I've talked about before, and it's a much larger moment. The really quiet moment was funny. We met, we were doing Comic-Con. It was my last Comic-Con with Sideshow. It was like 2022, and I think someone had come up to me, and they took some pictures, and we had chatted for a little bit, and they were just like, they said like the funniest thing to me. They were like, "Man, you're so much different in person. You're very quiet. Like you're not always like funny. Like you're just like normal." And I'm like, "Thanks."
He's definitely not.
You're not funny. Like you're very quiet. You're not normal. And I was just like,
"Yeah,
thanks. I appreciate that." But that was very nice. Also, I had a fan bring over was it the Multiverse Saga? Remember when Marvel announced like the next phase of everything?
Oh, the hat.
4 and 5 brought over the hat for me because we were working. We couldn't make the Marvel panel, so that was fun. But my absolute favorite moment from a con, I think, is a story that I've told before. But it was at Star Wars Celebration. I was working. I was doing interviews. It was it was Friday, I believe, and we had we'd been working all day. There was a place at Star Wars Celebration in Anaheim where there were a bunch of people doing tattoos. They were doing Star Wars tattoos. It was really cool. So we were interviewing people who were getting tattoos, giving tattoos. I'll be honest, I was this close to getting a Rebel insignia on my wrist. I was real close. And I was going to do it if this moment didn't happen. But we're interviewing people, and then we see our PR manager come over, and he's like pacing, and he's like walking really quick. And we're just like, oh, shit, everything okay? And he's like, Paul, you have 10 minutes, but they asked us to go on stage at Star Wars Celebration during the middle of the live stream to talk about the Mythos line and just sort of a Hawk sideshow, essentially. And they're like, you have 30 minutes is what it was. And I was like, okay. So we immediately stop what we're doing. We tell everyone thank you, give them some swag, and we walk over to this little like back area, and basically it's a green room. I signed my life away, signed a ton of NDAs, and I'm in this green room getting ready to go live. And this live has like 90,000 people, and there's like 4,000, there's not 4,000, there's like 1,500 people in person crowding the stage. This is the year they announced Kenobi, and there's so many people. Well, there was also this little area where they were putting things on a podium. And you know those cameras that they film the stars with, and they go around them?
Oh,
Well, they had that, and they were filming product, and then the products they were being filmed just being shot into like a commercial, like that they were showing in between the stream. So I'm standing there and I'm looking at stuff and I'm talking to this guy, and then this guy comes up behind me, and he's just talking, and he's on the phone and he's being very, very polite. He's like, hey, I'm here. I'm ready. And he's like, oh, sorry, man. And it's Pedro Pascal. He is right here on my shoulder, and we're just kind of, very, very loosely talking to each other. And he is on the phone, and he was a surprise guest at this point. And so I'm like freaking out, losing my mind. And we are all very fortunate, coming from where we worked, where we've met a lot of celebrities or we've been in interviews with them, and it becomes normal at one point. But I freaked out. I definitely freaked out a little bit. He was wonderful. He's as wonderful as you'd want him to be. And as he's coming back, he like looks at me, and he's just like completely unprompted. It's just like, huh. He's like, man, that's what I need to do. He's like, I need to get my hair gray like that. He's like, damn. It's like, looks good, man. And then he goes, he's back on the phone, and I'm just like, oh, he just touched my hair. Okay, that's fine. And then I go up, and they hand me, and then I'm freaking out, and then they hand me a mic, and they say, Mr. Hernandez, you're up. I'm like, okay. So I go up, do our thing, and I'm on the live stage, and it was great. I got to work with Hector again, who I've worked with a couple times. He's amazing. And as I'm coming down, there's like a ramp and some stairs and stuff. Pedro Pascal's at the bottom of it. And me and Hector Navarro, is his last name, are there, and we're kind of just like chatting, and Pedro Pascal's like coming up the stairs, and he's just like, so they just book all the Latinos right now and just get us all out of the way, huh? And then he goes up and does his freaking thing, and it was great. And I was just like, huh. So that happened. Yeah. And that is hands down my absolute favorite moment at a convention, and one of the very, very few times that I ever like really, really freaked out in front of a celebrity, because I was just like, whoa, dude, like you are my favorite part of Star Wars. Like, yeah. He's truly my favorite part of Star Wars at the time. Like I mentioned earlier, Mandalorian is one of my favorite parts of Star Wars, and it was really cool. And for anyone who's ever met him, and everyone who's ever met him, he is as wonderful as he wants. So yeah, that was my my Pedro Pascal story that I've probably told a few times now, but it's always fun. It's always fun to talk about that Pedro Pascal touched my hair. Oh, and he smelled like cinnamon. Wow. If anyone was wondering. So he's great. All right.
I'm interested in Tenchi Masaki's stories. We got to get Tenchi on. I have a lot of convention stories from over the years, some I really can't talk about in public forums.
Oh, yeah.
NSFW. Come on backstage.
Yeah.
I want to hear
Fandom Social after dark.
Yeah. We also had a comment about saying like what people think about having fan guest hosts, and like we would absolutely be into it if you'd want. I believe just send us an email or send us an email at hello@fandomsocial.com and let us know that you'd like to guest host and like what some of your interests are, and then when we have a show that correlates to those interests, we'll invite you on. Like absolutely, if you guys want to come on and hang out, we'd love to have you. So yeah, Steve says, I love the comment about Latin connection. Steve, I know you've heard the story a couple times, so I hope you went and like checked on your plans when I was telling this. But yeah, it's always so funny. He was seriously the nicest man ever. But all right, so moving on to a few of the last questions here. Are there any secret interests or hobbies that you have that you don't showcase enough, either on your own social channels or on Fandom Social?
No. I can't think of anything. Yeah, I don't. I'm very open about everything that I do. I don't.
Yeah, no, you're telling us.
You know? Yeah, hobbies or thing. Yeah, no, I've got none of that.
Yeah, you're a pretty open book as well. I'd say we all are. Only thing I would say is I forget sometimes every once in a while when I'm like just I don't know messing around. I'm like, oh yeah, I was a musician for a long time. Like sorry, so is Daniel. Daniel plays guitar. Daniel's been playing guitar as long as I've been playing guitar, and I forget.
I used to be in a death metal band. Yeah.
Did you really?
Yeah. But I haven't done that in years, so that doesn't really count because that's not something that's secret or currently going on.
That's true.
So I don't know why I brought it up. Just so maybe we can start a band together.
What was our ethnic snowstorm? That's what it was. We can go. We should play. Our first show will be in Dwayne's small town. Like, hello, everyone. Yeah. We are Ethnic Snowstorm.
In small town Indiana with no McDonald's. What are we going to eat when we're done? There's no McDonald's, no Taco Bell. We'll starve to death.
Live chickens? I don't know.
I know. Someone will be like, here, have some home cooked meal. I'll be like, ew, vitamins. Gross.
Yeah.
Surely there's a dive bar we could get some calories at.
Yeah, no, it's actually the dive bar is just the name of the pool store where they sell diving equipment. It's the only business in town. Okay, so the very, very last question is the first one that we got, but I wanted to save it to the end here. And it's a pretty heady question, but we can answer it pretty quickly if you guys would like, because we are running a little low on time here. But what is it in 5 years you would like to accomplish with Fandom Social?
Oh, fuck.
Yeah, so like no big deal, but what's your 5-year plan?
Sponsorship for sure.
Yes. So if you're out there and you'd like to sponsor us, hello@fandomsocial.com. We are very willing to sell out.
Yeah, you know what? I'll be a corporate sellout. Give me a product and I'll hawk it.
Yeah. These tactical bathtubs.
Yeah. Like I really don't. 90% of things that they would be like, hey, would you hawk it? I'm like, yeah.
And it's like,
is it going to? Yeah, is it going to kill anybody? We don't want to say yes or no. I'm like, done. I'll still sell it. I don't care.
It legally has not killed anyone yet because they've recovered all of them.
Alexis has suggested manscaping, which it's actually Manscaped is the name of the brand, and I know because I use their shampoo. Here's my Manscaped. Where's
beard oil?
Manscaped beard shampoo and beard oil. Ooh. So yes, I will absolutely take it on that.
Because there's been some chat, Alex, about your beard, and I want to say it does look incredible. It really does. It looks so good.
Oh, like I accidentally chopped it off.
No, it looks good. You did it on purpose.
Yeah, I did it on purpose. But look at this. Look, I should show you some. See this?
Well,
how it disappears. I'm getting full George Lucas neck over here.
Mm-hmm. It's a we call that billionaire's neck.
Yeah. And see, that's what I want to eventually do. I want to be like, yeah, promo code Alex's big dumb face for 10% off at Manscaped.
Who knows? Maybe some merch. Maybe some
Pete,
an app.
That is a well thought out joke. Thank you.
Manscaped.
But I don't know. I mean, this is a hard question. I think this is one that maybe was directed more at me and Autumn, because we kind of just dragged Alex and Daniel into this whole thing. But
my point was to get paid. That's my point.
Yeah, doing this full time is the end goal for everyone. We would love to be able to bring even this very, very small community to many, many more people who are tired, or they are, for lack of a better word, disenfranchised with Marvel or Star Wars, because we all came up in such a time, where fandoms and franchise content was what's big, right? We're discussing and doing another show where we talk about like the tipping point, and really you can look at it as between like 2009 and 12, where you have like Marvel and Star Wars and things were franchising out like crazy, and we're sort of on the other end of that now, and seeing the fallout, which was also renewed for season 2. I wrote that note, by the way, so full circle, Fallout officially renewed for season 2. But we've seen the fallout of that. And so the goal of this for me in Autumn was to always create a place where people can enjoy their fandoms, learn new fandoms, reignite their love for fandoms within a place that they trust the other folks and all these mugs. And so, getting to do that on a larger scale, being able to do this full time is really, really like the end goal. We would love to be able to do that and bring on some other people talking about their fandoms. That's really, and also just knowing us, just kind of making sure that we keep it like light and breezy, and like if it ever got to a point like the guys were joking about, like of getting corporate sponsorship, of working with partners and interviewing people and creating content with other content creators that feels true to us. And me and Autumn did this exercise. We locked ourselves in a Zoom room and we talked about this and like what we'd want to do. And we did a roadmap we did a 3-year roadmap, and we wrote it all out. And we have ideas. It's just, timing happens. And I think that, we appreciate you guys all being here. We love like the Facebook group specifically. It's just such an easy way to interact with everyone. And so we'd love to get more and more people in there. And because the more people that we have in there, the more that Daniel can sell his tactical baths. And Daniel really needs to move them, because because between Herbalife and tactical baths, Daniel's drowning.
I'm running out of living room space. So
yeah, he's living in living spaces actually. Yeah, that's where he is now. He's in one of those model IKEA bedrooms.
Yeah, this is a sticker. Watch.
Yeah,
is that a home film? Is that a home film?
Jen Edwards says, "Make a sad commercial with Sarah McLachlan music. You too can sponsor Fandom Social for only $5. Yeah, we'll take it.
We'll branch out. I want to do like ASMR content.
No,
get all the gimmicky stuff.
Denied.
A mukbang?
No. Stop. Well, we know what fandoms Daniel's been into. So
sell magnets.
I don't even get this joke, Steve. Murciélagos?
It's a bat.
Murciélagos. That's how you say bat in Spanish or Italian.
Bat.
Yes, there you go.
Well, all right, everyone. Well, thank you guys for joining us. Seriously, we'll do this every year and a half, maybe. I think we've been doing Fandom Social, maybe not a year and a half, about a year now. So we'll do this again. Maybe we'll do this with Autumn when we can bring her back on. But thank you guys for hanging out. If this is your first time, being in the show and interacting with us, join our. You ready, Daniel?
Ready
to do your job? Okay.
I had to
okay. So you can find us pretty much everywhere at Fandom Social. We are on we have a Facebook group, Fandom Socialites. That's where you can interact with us most often. YouTube, which is where some of you are watching now. We have a Facebook page and a website, fandomsocial.com. You bring them up and I'll react to them, Daniel.
All right, yeah.
You can find us on Twitter, also X at Fandom Social, Instagram at Fandom Social. We've got some clips there. And then you can always email us anything. If you ever want to join the show, you have any ideas for the show, or you want to just talk to Alex and send him weird bald memes, send them to hello@fandomsocial.com.
No problems here.
Like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell. If you guys ever want to comment after the fact on YouTube, it really, really helps with growth. We are almost at 200 YouTube subscribers. So we're pretty excited. So join us on YouTube, subscribe when we hit 200. Oh, we can actually do a giveaway because we actually do have like a partner, but we can't talk about it yet because we still have to like sign some stuff or whatever. But we can actually do giveaways with an actual name of an actual company that you guys will actually want. They're a pretty popular pop culture company, and it is not who we used to work for. I do need to clarify that. So it is not them, but we are very, 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 very excited. We've got a lot planned, and thank you guys again for your patience. We're all in the middle of doing various things that are eating up our time. So we really, really appreciate it. And yeah, get a hold of us. Let us know in the group any other questions you want us to ask, or just let's do this. Let's ruin her night. Everyone go into the group and tag Autumn individually and ask her a question because she missed the show and didn't give me a notice. So that's fun. So
is that technically a no call, no show?
It is no call, no show, no job. So we'll ask the stakeholders, which are Autumn, and she said no. Yeah. So, well, Chief Curmudgeon Officer Alex, thank you. Daniel, Corporate Fun Officer, thank you guys, and thank you all so much for joining us. We got another show next week. We're going to do something a little bit different. We're going to focus on a particular fandom. We are thinking of either doing Whedon. So we're going to maybe do a deep dive into Joss Whedon and the rise, the reign, and the fall of the Whedonverse and that fandom. Autumn wants to do it. I really want to do it right, so I don't want to rush it. We've got a loose script going for that. So I don't know why I'm telling everyone like all the behind the scenes stuff right now, but we may also, do Comic-Con. So we've got a lot of conventions coming up. So we've got a lot of really fun things that we're planning, some box office breakdowns. Alex, we're going to do Transformers.
The people have spoken.
Yeah.
Okay. That's fine. I'll do anything for fandom.
For love, but you won't do that.
Yeah.
Daniel, how are you feeling? The big album comes out tomorrow.
Oh yeah.
Seriously.
I'm letting him. I'm letting him. I'm giving him a second, Alex. It's fine.
Everyone, the new Taylor Swift comes out tomorrow. I believe the single drops tonight at midnight, if I'm not mistaken, or possibly tomorrow at midnight. Which maybe not the wisest choice because tomorrow is also the Drag Race finale, so a lot of conflicting viewership there. That Venn diagram is pretty well overlapped.
It's pretty tight. Yeah. They're packed like sardines.
But yeah, new album dropping tomorrow, so I'm excited. I haven't been the biggest fan of like the last 3 albums.
Did you say the album? Did you say that it was Taylor Swift?
I did. I think I did.
Oh, I just wasn't listening.
A new Tay-Tay album.
Yeah, once you guys started talking about it, I was like, I just don't want to be in.
Alex started like rubbing in his beard oil. Well, yeah. So yeah, actually, huge. I knew. What is it called? The Dead Poets Society? No, that's the
Tortured Poets. Something. Right. I honestly couldn't even tell you.
Yeah. TPS.
Dead Poets Society.
Yeah, those TPS reports coming out, Alex. Tortured Poets Society reports. So maybe we'll get Alex to review it. That'll be fun. So, and now we are just rambling and keeping everyone for no reason. So thank you guys all so much. Like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell, all the stuff. Comment after the fact if you have any other questions, or answer any of the questions, yourself. What do you believe? Do you believe in ghosts? What are your 3 guilty pleasures? Let us know in the comments. But thank you all so much. Have a wonderful night. We'll see you next Thursday. And remember to like what you love what you like, and download the McDonald's app. I love it, and you get a bunch of points. This is not a paid sponsorship, but I love the McDonald's app. So it's great. Also,